Chapter 7 begins with a mysterious figure looking at a closed door. He closes his eyes and goes back to sleep. In the meantime, we find Almathis, who also closes his eyes and goes to sleep. He remembers his first encounter with Malos when he awakens him. He's interrupted with a report about the Aegis location in Tantal. He learns that Jin has the Aegis and talks shit about Rex unless Rex finds what he lost. He tells some dude to begin the ceremony and something weird happens. Elsewhere, we find Rex also sleeping, but now he's waking up. He looks down at his broken sword as a random bird flies by. He starts to cry like the foolish child he is. Sorry, I'm really disappointed at Rex at this moment. He's been sleeping for 2 days now. The group begins to become impatient. Rex comes out of his room and tells the crew he's leaving, not knowing where he's going. This upsets Nia and she starts yelling at him. Rex explains how pathetic he is being a bad driver because he let Pyra/Mithra down. Having enough of his shenanigans, Nia punches the of Rex, who tosses him to the ground. Neil gives him a good talking to, but Rex still feels sorry for himself. Bridget decides to step in and slaps Rex across the face. Man, this is getting good. Bridget also gives Rex an earful, trying to get him to snap out of it. Dromark chimes in, but Morag stops him. Zeke looks like he wants to say something, but forgets about it. Poppy finally steps in. Great, I can't wait for her to punch him too. However, she doesn't punch him, but tells him she's disappointed with the way he's acting. I didn't realize Poppy was so short. Pandoria comes in, letting everyone know that the King of Tantal wants to see them. Thanks, Pandoria. Things are just getting good. The king gives them a history lesson. He explains there were people who followed Adam that sought to live with blades and titans as equals. However, there were others that opposed Adam, preferring humans as the masters and titans as their tools. When Adam disappeared, his opponents seized the Omega Fetter, declaring themselves the Tantalese royal dynasty. They used Adam's name in order to win over the people. They hid in the Cloud Sea to avoid strangers and the trouble they could bring. The king tells the group the Praetorium offered to stay quiet about the whole thing in return for a fixed quantity of core chips. The king shows the crew Genbu's ether flow, which is refined and crystallized to create core chips. This explains the cold climate and poor harvest that they have to live with. The Praetorium used these core crystals in order to expand their influence. As a result of all this, the Tantalese people are forced to live in poverty. They haven't left their position in fear of being exposed for using Adam's name to seize power. Since the Aegis has awakened, the Praetorium threatened to reveal Tantal's secret if they didn't hand over the Omega Fetter. The king, having had enough of Indel's abuse, decided then to kill the Aegis so they would not use her against him. The king entrusts Rex to use the Aegis' power. He hands him a tomb which describes how Adam saved the world from destruction using a white sword and then disappeared with a red sword. The king reveals a third Aegis sword that Adam never used because it was too powerful. So Adam sealed it away somewhere where nobody could find it. The king goes on to tell Rex that Jin shouldn't have been able to defeat the Aegis. This makes Rex realize that he had been holding back Pyra and Mithra this whole time. What a schmuck. Rex decides to look for the sword and is pointed to its location being somewhere in Letheria. Apparently Gramps knows the location and asks him to follow him. As they leave, the king requests that Zeke protect Rex, to which Zeke agrees. We find Malos and Akos talking near an unconscious Pyra. Malos tells Akos that her and Rex's life are literally intertwined together. Back to Gramps and the crew, Gramps explains Fonset goes by another name known as Hero's Rest. Fonset was founded by Adam, who charged Gramps with protecting the village. Gramps leads them to a stone tablet which shows Adam's crest. It's finally realized that Rex is able to interact with the crest because he is a Letharian. A passage opens up in the very center of the archipelago where the Ophantic cavern known as the Spirit Crucible Olympus. Try saying that 5 times fast. We then return back to Malos and Pyra. Malos remembers being engulfed in flames, blaming Pyra for all the events leading up to this moment. Patroka and Akos are gossiping about how Malos is going to restore his power. Akos explains that Malos will extract the data he's missing from the core of the other Aegis, which will restore all of his power. The science checks out. If Pyra were to survive the ordeal, she would remain only as an empty husk. Malos goes ahead and gets to work. While in the cavern, the blades start to feel a little weak. Gramps explains that the crucible saps the energy of blades. If they run out of energy, they will be forced to return to their core state and may not be able to be reawakened. This would have been nice to know before they entered the cavern, Gramps. As they are walking through the cavern, Zeke reveals a core stuck in his chest. He then goes into a story about how he almost died. Pandoria carries Zeke until she can no longer walk. As she's about to faint, we see Almathis approach. Pandoria awakens to Almathis. He tells Pandoria in order to save Zeke, he had to transplant part of Pandoria's core crystal in Zeke's heart. He's a blade eater now, apparently. Nia starts to show some signs of struggling as well, similar to what the blades are going through. This leads me to suspect she's probably a blade too, but I'm probably wrong. Nah. I'm never wrong. The crew decides to take a rest. As they're resting, Nia starts talking about her life. She tells him that her father was really important back in Gormont. She also had a sister who was really frail. Even the best doctors couldn't save her, and her dad eventually lost his money and status. Nia's sister died not long after that. Nia begins to remember a conversation with her father, who says she has a life within her now, and that her sister's life is tied to Nia's. He wants Nia to refer to him as father, and she obliges. In another scene, we find Nia crying due to her father's death. As she's crying, she finds her dad's core crystal on the floor, which happens to be be Dromark. Nia finishes her story by telling Rex that she began running from the Praetorium, calling her a flesh-eating blade. She's locked away only to be saved by Jin, who decided to take her in. The group reaches a dead end with Adam's seal and are surrounded by dark figures resembling Adam. As things are looking bad, Nia finally reveals herself as a blade.
Nia.
She explains to Rex that she is no longer burdened and finally free. She's also no longer afraid of who she is. She ends up telling Rex that she loves him, and Rex is all like, what? The fight continues on between the crew and the Dark Atoms. Rex comes in and protects Nia at the last moment, telling her that he loves her as well, and loves everybody else too, putting her in the friend zone. Finally, Rex and the gang defeat all the Dark Atoms. Adam's voice tells Rex that he has been waiting for someone like him for a long time. Rex is transported to Elysium and finds Adam. Adam thanks Rex for bringing him to Elysium as he's never been there before. Adam asks Rex what he wants: wealth, power, or dominion. Rex denies all three, but if he had to pick, he would choose power in order to protect everyone he knows. What a schmuck, I would have chosen all three. Adam tells Rex he has the power to accept her in her true power, meaning the Aegis. He tells Rex once he's able to take on the weight of all the fear she carries, only then would he become the true driver of the Aegis. Rex finally snaps out of the vision and proceeds to unlock the white sword. However, as soon as he grabs the sword, it turns into dust. Everyone is shocked, but Rex is okay with it, saying it wasn't about getting the sword, and they already have everything they need. They make it outside and take a breather. Rex complains that Nia should have told him that she was a blade. Nia was like, nah. Rex tells him that they're holding Pyra at the cliffs of Moritha, also known as the land of the dead. In the next scene, we find Mick trying to flirt with Patroka but fails. He is working on the Torna warship known as Marsanis, rating it for non-mortal opponents. Patroka tells Mick that the food is ready and he goes on to tease her. Geez, get a room, you two. The crew finally reaches the cliffs of Moritha, which is a rotten titan. It turns out that the place is a shortcut to the world tree. The group pushes on to look for Pyra. In the meantime, Malos is trying to take away Pyra's memories. Pyra is running away as fast as she can, but she can't escape Malos. I called him a douche before, but he's actually pretty cool. I feel like I can go clubbing with the guy. Like he has a lot to teach me. While he's attempting to destroy her memories, he came upon another artifice. Malos calls forth Ophion, who attempts to kill Malos. Malos pretty much laps it off and attacks it back in order to reprogram it. Rex and the gang finally reach Malos. He talks trash to Nia, and Nia's like, psh. Malos continues to talk trash and attacks them. The crew assaults Malos, but to no avail. Malos' attacks actually destroy anything that it touches. Nia steps in to use her power to heal the blades, and the fight continues on. Nia does a special attack that makes Malos gain a lot of weight. It's pretty epic, but we all know that's not going to stop him. Malos is defeated for a short time. The group then runs into Jin, explaining they already have everything they need from Pyra. Malos joins in. See, I told you he's alive. He's so cool though. Explaining that it would take more than that to destroy him. Malos says Pyra betrayed herself as an Aegis due to the bond she formed with Rex. Malos tosses Pyra to Rex, who then starts talking about not understanding Mithras and Pyra's feelings and that he was stupid. Don't worry, Rex, you don't need to tell us you're stupid. We already know that. Malos then makes a mistake, like every other bad guy, and we'll hear what Rex has to say. The group pretty much gets destroyed again. Nia attempts to heal, but Jin prevents her from using her powers. As Rex is fighting, he hears Pyra's and Mithra's voice telling him to give up. Pyra then reveals that she only wanted to go to Elysium to ask the architect to destroy her. Malos asks Rex if he's finally cracked. He's so cool. Rex ignores everything and tells the Aegis they'll find Elysium together and what their future holds. He promises not to let the world burn a second time. As Jin goes for the finishing blow, Rex is transported to the artifice Ion, where Mithra and Pyra ask if he still wants to fight. Rex asks if they love this world, to which they reply saying they love Nia, Azurda, and Rex. Dang, that's cold. What about the others? Rex returns to the fight as a new man holding a new sword. We see Mithra and Pyra join together to form a new being. She gives Rex a new costume, so we can assume he's more powerful than before. I think it's cute that they made outfits to match. They go on to defeat Jin and Malos with their newfound powers. When in doubt, just get new powers to destroy your enemies. Malos lays out their goals to destroy the world, destroy humanity, and destroy the architect. To achieve this, Malos wants to go to Elysium to activate the ultimate artifice, Ion. Malos then summons Ophion to attack the group. However, Siren comes in the nick of time to save them. The two continue to have an epic battle. Ophion deals a blow that destroys the cliff and everyone falls, ending the chapter. chapter. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap of chapter 7. I try my best to condense the story as much as I can. Anyways, my name is LeoG and I will see you in the next video.